This is number 26. And before we talk about number 26, I'd like to show you a sequence of numbers. Stick with me, it's related. So here's what I want you to see. You start with the number 1, and then you add 1, and now I'm adding 2. Notice that I added 1 plus 1 to get 2. So for the next number in the series, I'm going to add 2 plus 1 to get 3, 3 plus 2 to get 5, 5 plus 3 to get 8, 8 plus 5 to get 13. You get the pattern? And so on. This is called the Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence. All right, now that I've introduced that to you, let's take a look at this. All right, it says we're supposed to consider the following sequence of complex fractions. And I missed the instruction that says simplify the first 6 terms, describe any patterns you see, can you predict the next term without writing and simplifying the complex fraction? So let's do what they ask us to, and let's first simplify these terms. Well, nothing to simplify here. This is 1. This one is 1/2. Okay? Let's go to the next one. The next one is 1 over 1 plus 1/2. So let's just take a minute. 1 over 1 plus 1/2, which simplifies to 1 over 3/2. And when you have 1 divided by 3/2, that equals 2/3. You seeing that? Okay? So that means that this is 1 plus all of this equaled 2/3, right? So we have 1, let me change the color here so we keep things straight here. So here we have 1 over 1 plus all of this was 2/3, okay? So all of this right here was equal to 2/3. Can you see that that is just this right here? I hope so. So that's equal to 1. So that means that we have 1 over 1 2/3, which is equal to 1 over 5/3, which is equal to 3/5, which is equal to 3/5. Okay, so this third one here is 3/5. All right, everybody good on this so far? All right, now we know that all of this right here, all of this is equal to 3/5. Are you seeing that? That's equal to 3/5. So we change the color again. We have 1 over 1 plus 3/5, right? So 1 over 1 3/5, which is the same as 1 over 8/5, right? Which is equal to 5/8. You should try to do this on your own because these are good algebra skills for you to develop. All right? So now we know that all of this is equal to 5/8, right? So one more color change. Shall we make this one, I guess we'll make this one black again. So we have 1 over 1 plus everything that's circled in the red is 5/8. So we have that equal 1 over 1 5/8. Well, 1 5/8 is equal to 1 over 13/8. And when we do the division, that's equal to 8/13. Okay, so here we go. Let's look for the pattern because that's what it asked us to do next. It said, describe any patterns you see. Can you predict the next term without writing and simplifying the complex fraction? And the answer, I hope, is absolutely. Okay, so let's look first at this. I'm going to put this 1 over 1 so you can see that. All right, so here's numerator 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Do you see it? Okay. I'm going to do the denominator in a different color. Okay, now we have denominator 1, and then we have 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Okay? So do you see that the Fibonacci sequence is sitting right here in front of our eyes? It's just offset by 1. the first one started with the very first number of the Fibonacci sequence. The second one started with, the denominators started with the second number of the Fibonacci sequence. So what is the next term going to be? Well, the next numerator is going to be 13, right? Because 5 plus 8 is 13. So the next denominator is going to be 8 plus 13, which is going to give us 21, if my calculations are correct. So I hope that you feel smarter having done that. Fibonacci sequence occurs in a lot of places in nature, in case you weren't.